Hey guys, this is Jasper, founder of Xstatic Sunsets, and I'd like to share more on why we do this, and what's created this specific concept, and what you're supporting by coming to our events. And we're a not-for-profit social impact business, and I want to share more on how we aim to have an impact, our vision of impact, but fundamentally, why do we do this? And this is something I've had to remind myself because, let's face it, events are not great businesses. It was extremely challenging to continue through COVID, and we're really in a process to rebuilding momentum, rebuilding community around our purpose. So I'd like to share more on that. But first I want to talk about, the problem that I think most of us see in society, which is a culture which normalizes overconsumption of alcohol and drugs. And that's something that I've grown up into in the UK. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, for example. And I think we've all seen the negative consequences of that in terms of issues with aggression, lack of consent, and fundamentally, it doesn't create a safe, inclusive space for people to come together, and not and not even mentioning the negative impact on people's own mental health in terms of hangovers, come downs. And let me just say, this is not an anti-drug and alcohol message whatsoever. It's really all about mental health and a question of how do we optimize our mental health and thrive in life, but how do we create a society that's really supports the connection we really need, and how do we find the balance as individuals with how we choose to consume? And there is zero judgment on how anyone may choose to consume alcohol and drugs. Our purpose is very much based on helping people find the balance that's right for them, as well as creating cultural change to inspire a more healthy party culture, which creates a safer environment that supports people on that journey to finding the balance and fundamentally enables fun and connection, which is what we're all after. But the thing that frustrates me is the government always talks about the drug and alcohol problem, and yet I think the issue is far deeper than this, and I see it as more of a mental health issue, and drugs and alcohol can help us cope through challenging times, but equally at the same time it can be a slippery slope to addiction. And when we're in environments where it's normal to consume and it's accessible everywhere, it's very easy to fall down that slippery slope of addiction, which can obviously have even more negative consequences on people's mental health. And underlying the mental health issue is, I think what most of us have been challenged with is some level of childhood trauma. And this is only, more recently being talked more about. And it's something that I've gone on, my own personal journey with in realizing what experiences affected me. And for me, first week at school, I, did not feel particularly safe or smart in the classroom, but I loved the playground. And my first week of school, I picked up this massive laundry stick, 5 meters long, and ran around the playground with it like a joust, playing. But I was told off by a teacher and sent to the headmistress, and that was obviously like worst case scenario as a 5-year-old first week at school, and I was absolutely shitting myself. And she was quite a scary headmistress as well. So and there I was, standing in front of a desk as she told me off, and I was so scared and embarrassed. I peed my pants, and there we go. That was my traumatic experience as a 5-year-old. And I guess when I reflect, how did that impact me? It really affected my confidence to express myself. And essentially, I was told off for playing, and that really just paved the way into my teenage years as someone who lacked confidence in himself, couldn't express himself. I actually created a bit of a stutter, can you believe it, as a way just to sort of avoid embarrassing situations, whether it's public speaking. And but I did find a great drug called alcohol, which was, well, let's say, celebrated to consume and overconsume, and alcohol became my drug to help me overcome the lack of confidence and help me express myself at parties. And I was pretty good at drinking, I have to say. But I've also always experienced anxiety, I realise, from throughout my whole life. It's a challenge, something I still struggle with. And of course, alcohol really doesn't help in that respect. And it was a real journey of sort of feeling I was benefiting from drinking, but equally experiencing anxiety and not really helping my mental health at all. And it was only when I discovered the Burning Man community in Australia that I found a space and a community where there was no judgment, and we can dress up to express ourselves. And I really start to find and step into this more authentic side of myself, actually this more creative person that I hadn't really tapped into. And I got more into party organizing, which was awesome, a lot of fun, and really have a lot of respect for the Burning community and the parties we organized. They were absolutely fantastic. But it was going through proper depression after a painful breakup, when I hit rock bottom, and I realized alcohol and drugs were not serving me, which is where I had this fortuitous experience while I went to the Barley Spirit Festival to really try and reconnect with myself. Danced for hours every night, got this amazing natural high, and that week at that festival, dancing every night, and I did yoga and other spiritual practices, but it was just so transformative. And I sort of realized, one, how powerful dance is as a means to let go of these negative emotions, but two, that how you can get this amazing natural high. And it just felt amazing. It was really great. Every night I would just get this natural high without any come down, wake up pretty tired, to be honest, from all the dancing. But that led to the vision, what's become Xstatic Sunsets. And you may look at Xstatic and go, they're just fun, wacky parties, but it's actually very much an intentional experience to help people let go without alcohol and drugs. And like it did for me, the theming and the dress-ups really helped me to express myself. And that's why events are themed, as it really helps people let go. And the dress-ups, I think, it helps ice-breaking conversations, facilitates, that playfulness, if you like, that normally alcohol would lower our inhibitions to achieve. The dress-ups and the theming really helps people drop into that playful party vibe. And then obviously it's all about the music, right? The music is the drug. So I'm very passionate about curating the best DJs to deliver what is the best dance music, to really dance and build that energy on the dance floor, to get that natural high. And there's just nothing like that when we've got that group flow effect on the dance floor. Everyone's vibing on the natural high, fully letting go, expressing themselves. It's just such a beautiful thing. And it really does create a safe, inclusive space for anyone to come and party, of any age, really. You could bring your kids. I always say you could bring your grandma, because really it does create a safe space for anyone to party. And the reason, and aside from someone's mental health benefits from getting a natural high without the hangover, and people often, we get great feedback saying people feel great days later. Our mission is very much to make a difference one event at a time, in the context of attracting new people to experience these benefits. And when someone who hasn't experienced a sober party comes, has some great connection, conversation, dances, gets a natural high, and then wakes up without a hangover, it can really help change their relationship with alcohol and drugs, because suddenly they realize, wow, I can have an amazing time without, and there's no consequence. Maybe I should consume less. And I've had feedback from many people about how that's benefited them, to help them find the balance, but also be a stepping stone to discover all the other great conscious events in the drug and alcohol free space and conscious scene, to really help them on that path of improving their mental health. So that's why we do Xstatic Sunsets. It's creating this space in society for people to come and experience the benefits of partying without alcohol and drugs. It's but fundamentally, our purpose is to create cultural change which can benefit everybody. And to do that, we need to expand. We need to deliver events across Australia to really give as many people that experience of an actual high. And in particular, we've got plans to create early intervention programs, bringing the concept to schools and universities, where we can do inspiring educational talks on this opportunity to party sober, and the fact that you can get a natural high. It's actually a scientific thing, but also then co-create the events and the concept with students to give them that natural high, right? And then everyone can start to realize, we don't need to depend on anything outside ourselves to have an amazing time. And So, thank you for watching. If you've been watching here for 10 minutes now, but I wanted to share a bit more on why we do this, and how you can support what we're doing is simply by coming along to our events, buying a ticket. We rely heavily on ticket sales to cover the cost of events and become sustainable, and we also require the people, and the people makes the party. By coming along, getting in costume, having a great time with everyone, that's where we get the photos and the video footage to help promote and wave the flag for this option to have an amazing time without any alcohol and drugs. And the idea is that can attract new people to come and give it a go. And that's what we're all about, is just, it's an invitation for on and off. We're not suggesting that you need to go completely sober. We just challenge people to give it a go, come and have fun with us. And my greatest passion is delivering the ultimately best experience possible, bringing these themes to life. And I just absolutely love seeing these parties rock. So, yeah, thank you for those who've supported us up until now. If you've got any questions, or would like to connect with me or engage more on this mission and how you may like to get involved or help, please let me know. It's certainly been challenging getting through COVID. We've got this big festival now postponed until the 22nd of October. So it's exciting. That's finally coming up in spring. It's going to be a really important festival event for us to hopefully, be like a springboard. So I really appreciate your support by literally coming to the events, bringing your friends, coming and have fun with us. And I'm really expecting that to be a springboard for us to attract more funding, more sponsorship, and get some more revenue to become more sustainable, so we can then employ a team to support the expansion that we'd like to achieve to have this bigger impact. So yeah, thanks for your time, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you on the dance floor.